All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me just tweet it out so everybody join in here. 1 second, please. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Here. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today, and happy Thursday, everybody. It's Thankful Thursday. Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans out there. Thank you for your service to our country, and hope everybody's doing well. And we pray for you. So thank you so much. Anyway, guys, beautiful stuff here. So we're finishing up this week's series here on trades and chart requests. So tonight we're going to be going over trade ideas, trades from today. And we're going to take a look at your chart request. So before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off with the market today. Then we're going to take a look at the future, see what we're up to or down to here this evening, what might be setting up going into tomorrow. And then we'll go through the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, guys. So SPX up about $2 here today. Upper shadow on the monthly chart, weekly chart with an inside week, right? Pulled back off of last week's highs. Remember, we had 3 white soldiers up, and then we got that nice follow through last week, and now we're pulling back. But what happened, right? We got over the upper Bollinger Band on the weekly chart, and our RSI got overbought as well, and so that tends to lead towards pullbacks. And when it corresponds with nice moves on the daily chart and the Elliott wave count, right, we get some really nice stuff. So daily chart right here, what do we have? We had a doji, right, an NR7 inside day that ended up pulling back here to the 80 man. Look what we got today, even a more narrow range or a narrow range than from the other day. Right, so really, really tight here at the 80 MA, guys, and here's our wave count. So what's going on with this? So again, we have this beautiful A, B triangle. Remember, triangles can be wave B or wave 4, so this count looks good, right? A, B, and then we're working on wave C. So 3, 3, 5, or 3 triangle 5. So on the wave 5, right, we 1, 2, 3, it could be wave 4, and we might actually get a little bit of wave 5 down tomorrow, or right, this is just a subwave A, subwave B, and then we'll see if we get subwave C of B, and then we'll look for some impulsive downside action. So it's possible tomorrow that we get a drop to finish the wave 5 here. We got a nice choppy day today. It actually, could be an A, B triangle, and then could be working on a wave C up. So we'll see how that goes if we end up being strong tomorrow. And then we'll look for an impulsive move down. But either way, we might get some downside action or some grindy upside action on this, right? So we definitely want to see how that goes going into tomorrow. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. And like we said, we'll be setting up going into tomorrow. So let's take a look here, guys. Once all the levels get up here, guys, we have so many amazing levels here on the ES. Woo! Look at that. SP futures got a little bit of a spike here tonight. So again, look how choppy, sloppy it was today. And look, why can't we get a clean move like that during the day today? So it's just not how it goes, right? We had a big day yesterday, and then today we expected chop, right? And it kind of corresponds with the wave count there too, right? So let's see where they try to push this thing. Again, we could end up gapping up tomorrow, and we could really see that wave B move that we're looking at here. So at this point now, right, we just have this kind of geometric move right here, right to the 886. We tracked this earlier from the initial drop today, and then once we held the 618, we're like, okay, we're just going to dropping off of the 618 today. We're like, this thing's going to be either down or a choppy mess today, and that's actually a really good scenario for selling premium, which we pointed out in the group today, selling call spreads that were way out of the money and ended up turning into a nice 50% trade. So good stuff there. Again, there's stuff to do, right? There's things to do, right? When we're chopping around like this, right? And selling premium is a great idea, but you have to have the chart reading techniques to be able to do that, and also the management abilities, right? To not let it go against you, right? That type of thing. So to stay profitable, right? That type of thing. But really, really cool stuff. And sometimes the chop can be our friend, right? We just watch the premium, kind of the theta tick lower, especially on a 1 DTE day like today, and kind of get going, right? And there were other names too that set up for us today too. So we're gonna get into that here in a little bit. So let's get into it. So here we go. So we got trades and chart requests. So let's take a look at the trades here today. Not much, right? So it's a choppy day. We already talked about selling premium. So again, we were looking at the 47.10s. Right, and those are a nice 25-30 cents here today. So do you think this is not quite SPX, right? But if you go to SPX, do you think 47.10 seemed like a pretty good distance that would probably close under that going into at least today in a choppy day and quite possibly tomorrow? Yeah. So when we see that, we're way up above the 2 day ago high. It's not that we don't think that these scenes of the breakdown are going to get tested. There's just no indication today. There was no volume. There was no breakout or any type of move today. So there's no indication to us that it was ready to do that. That it was ready to make those moves, right? So that was one of the big deals with the SPX today. So yeah, good premium selling opportunity on those. So this week we've been checking out ChatterQuant again, right, and looking at the social media insights into some of the trades out there. So I just want to show you guys today that on a choppy day today, there may not actually be any alerts, right? So today is one of those examples where I felt like we were kind of the ones that were putting out the social media ideas, right? Because we had two trades today, two ideas today, one from a member and one that I pointed out in the group today, and of course one at the open that were all good, right? And there was no social media chatter, but we put the chatter out there on Pfizer today, thanks to one of our members today. So some really cool stuff, and we always appreciate that when the group participates and gives us charts that really make sense, that look good, right? So and it's not like there's such thing as a bad chart. We're always learning, right? And so everybody's always learning. I'm always learning, right? Our best members are learning, right? And our newest members are learning too. So so feel free to obviously post charts and ask questions about it and see what you think about it, right? We do that all the time, right? So today was kind of interesting. There wasn't really too much. Like we said, there's some of the moves today were pretty intense, right? So we had FCX was an interesting one, but that was the alert kind of came out a little bit after the move this morning. One of our members actually pointed this out pretty early. It gave a very strong momentum move this morning and held well. So that was another metal name, right? Gold has been pretty strong recently, right? We talked about gold yesterday, but gold chopped today, so we went with some of the base metals today, like copper, that had a pretty good move, right? So that was pretty decent. We kind of go and we look and just kind of look at these. So we look at a couple of these charts, but this one was after the fact. We kind of looked at that one earlier today. Of course, any of the ones that relate to earnings, we kind of already know about, right? Tech here, this is kind of a resources type name right there. That was already kind of moving today. Netflix was a big deal, but this is we thought it was a little bit late, right? So Netflix obviously had a good chart today. Good move at the open, but once it got to some of our levels, right, we were like, we're probably no need to mess with this right now. But it had a strong move at the open, and it bounced off of one of our big support zones from last night and gave us a harmonic move going into today, right? We just this is one we pointed out at the open, right? So once the chatter came through, this was it was already basically up at the end of this harmonic, and we were good, right? So good there. So no move on that one, but still, I mean, it's still pointing out some good stuff and it's showing us what people are talking about. But that's the important thing, guys. If you have this tool, right, it's one thing to have the tool. It's another thing to be able to look at the charts and kind of make decisions. It's good to have a group like our Discord where you can kind of bounce these ideas off of each other and see if the chart makes sense, right? And a lot of these names just kind of didn't make sense. Like Wish was okay, but they had earnings today, right? CRSR, Corsair Gaming, that could have been an interesting one that was that I typically don't trade. So we kind of look at those, and BBBY had some chatter today. A little bit of action on that. RH is tough to day trade, so I didn't even look at that one. Ride was hot, but again, earnings tonight, right? And I already had the news yesterday. Blink was interesting. It had some positive action on it. We did not trade this. I think some of our members traded this after hours into the momentum here after hours. Again, that's kind of limit order type trading right here for a big spike right there. But that's again earnings, right? So it's kind of common type of chatter type stuff that is not to us isn't unusual, right? Because it's already got earnings, but it's still interesting. It reminds you that hey, there's earnings coming up, stuff like that. And then QS we looked at. This has definitely been a hot name recently too, just like the other kind of battery type names. And again, don't forget, guys, QS does absolutely nothing, right? QS does absolutely nothing. They make no money, right? They sell nothing. All they're trying to do is they get some research funds and stuff like that. So when this came out, we actually we started to draw this channel on it here today. It was a little late into the end of the day because we're busy, looking at other names, but it did pop out of there. So this was actually a pretty decent alert here. It just was in that flag pattern for a while, and we took our eyes off of it, right? So that was an interesting one that came through the chatter today. And then AM here was about 2 hours ago, so that's not one that I would have noticed here just until we looked at the to this stream, right? So AM maybe kind of perked up a little bit after hours right here, but yeah, it looks like maybe like a natural gas type company or maybe a propane company or something like that. So again, natural gas and these some of these prices are kind of getting high on this stuff here. So anyway, so that's kind of the stuff that we looked at here today. So again, but what I really like about that, guys, what it proves here about the ChatterQuant, right, is that not only do they give us great alerts, but if there's nothing going on, right, then there's nothing going on, right? So, you don't try to force trades, right? There's still people talking about earnings, and there's definitely chatter on that. I think it's okay to look at it and see, to make an evaluation. The QS was kind of the most interesting one we've been looking at for the past couple days. It's had some pretty strong moves. But if you don't see anything there, no big deal, right? So, again, we've had, I think for 2 weeks straight, we've had at least one good ChatterQuant alert, based on social media sentiment per day, right? And really cool stuff there. And guys, if you want to get that, get a discount on that one, just click on the link in the description for GoPro at ChatterQuant, by the way. But really cool stuff. And so today just didn't have anything, and that's okay because we were able to find our own stuff anyway, right? So here, what did we find in the group today? So a couple things we found. So Microsoft, we like this as a dip buy at the open. Why? because I like how it held the pre-market, the after hours lows, right? And I like the momentum that it had to the upside. So we pointed this out. This gave a nice 20-30% move here this morning. So that was a good trade. We pointed that out on the live stream today. What else do we had? We had Pfizer. Member pointed out Pfizer today. So with some relative strength, right? We got a pop out of the, this is the 15 orb range right here. We got a nice pop out of the 15 orb range, right? Retest, right? Retrace, and then we got some volume for a nice pop here. And again, beautiful. We talked about this one last night, I believe. Strong candle here that closed above these levels, and a nice move up to the next level, right? So it tagged that level and got over 50 today. So that turned into a good trade on Pfizer today. And the other one that we pointed out today in the group was Amazon short. And of course, later in the day, I tweeted out AMD and Nvidia, which also had good moves too. So again, once if there's no chatter, no big deal. Just go with what you regularly do. Look at your go-to list and see if you find setups, right? And Amazon had actually a pretty decent drop today, right? So we looked at this one here today. Give us a nice breakdown here through our levels. We had a gamma flip level right here today for a nice move. Let me show you here. Let's go to the default chart here. So you got gamma flip level right here. Once we crack below here with any sort of volume, this really started to move. So we actually pointed this out this morning. We were concerned about the initial push right here. We had a resistance zone up here, right? And then we did a nice little double inside 5 down, and then it held, right? So stayed profitable off of that drop, right? Crossed below these levels right here and give a really nice move. So again, that was about like $19.70, and these things went over $27 on the initial drop right here, and I think probably finished up around 30 on the and we liked our favorite ones were the 3500s, right? So I'll show you the chart on this one here. Amazon 21 11 12 puts 3500 was the next active strike that we liked on this one. So 21 11, I think I got two, there we go, one number in there. There we go. So let's take a look at these. Yeah, so they ended up going from $19, right? So which is right in this range right here, and they ended up getting up to like $37. So $19, $37. It's a huge move, right? On a boring day, right? So who doesn't like a 20-point move on Amazon options, right? So we pointed that out in the group today too. So pretty cool stuff. And members had some other ideas too that were great. Had some nice bounces, like Disney was pretty hot this morning for initial flush, right? That was in the bubble report this morning. We like the cascade down pre-market. When that happens, we oftentimes get a sharp drop at the open, so you can kind of just mark it in right there. Get a beautiful drop right there, and then they bought the dip on it a little bit and gave a pretty decent move here today. So again, that was all corresponding with our levels from the bubble report. So there's a lot of ideas today, a lot of opportunities. Just because there isn't social media chatter on it doesn't mean that there's not a setup, right? And but we love it when there's we don't see stuff, and then social media gives us some ideas, and it can help us sort through some of the nonsense out there. Otherwise, we just go with charts and we look at volume and we look at setup. So good stuff there. Anyway, so made for a fun day today, despite the chop plus the premium selling opportunities on the SPX today, which were good too. So anyway. Good stuff, guys. At this point now, if anybody's got any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window. We'll get through as many as we can, try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff there. So I didn't get any via Twitter today, so hopefully everybody's doing okay out there. But I did get one from Shirley. Shirley, I always appreciate your email. So good stuff there. Let's take a look and see what you got on the radar. So ENPH, yes, this is one of my favorite names. This was by far one of the strongest sectors today, the TAN sector. The solar sector, very strong today, and the best candle today was ENPH. Beautiful close back over the ADMA. Morningstar reversal, except it wasn't in a downtrend, and a nice close at all-time highs. We'll see if it gets any follow-through today's high. So that looks pretty good there. WDC is another one that was on our radar too. Beautiful breakout candle, guys. I love the breakout of the 50-day moving average. I like the volume, I like the pierce of the cloud, and I think it closed just above this, just below that low right here. So let's see if we can push above today's highs and continue to keep going. Again, WDC is just one of those names that always gets beat up with like MU. And they've got their own, but they're consistently profitable, and they've got a good business model, and they always hang in there. So again, this is a good, interesting name to buy dips on, right? So it oftentimes gives us some good follow through, right? So I mean, it gapped down on good earnings, I think last time, right? It made like $2.49, and the estimate was $2.23, right? So okay, yeah. So it faded the gap, right? So really nice stuff there. Anyway, so WDC is a good one to keep an eye on. GM, let's take a look. Again, nice breakout candle here over this recent consolidation. Looks like a cup and handle breakout here, guys. Really, really nice move. So we got this. We'll see if we get any follow through on it, right? Try to do it here. Here's your cup. Here's your handle, right? And breakout here today. So breakout zone. So again, now at this point, right, we want to see how it handles like these levels above. But very, very strong chart on GM. It's crazy because none of these companies are selling cars right now. There's no cars on the lots because of the chip shortages. And they're just kind of like running on steam, right? So they're selling whatever they can, and they're kind of riding on this green wave right now. And all of them are making these promises to make all these electric vehicles and making release dates on electric
electric vehicles and try to ride the Rivian wave. And Ford, right, just made $10 billion on the Rivian investment off of the IPO, right? So they invested like like a little less than $1 billion on it, and it's already like super high based on what the original price was, what they invested in it. So it's pretty incredible stuff, really, if you think about it. So that's one way to kind of float your cash flow for a little bit. Just open up an electric vehicle startup and invest in that and let the stock market take care of it. So it's pretty cool stuff there. But yeah, nice cup and handle break there on GM and Ross. Let's take a look. Weak. Wow. XRT really weak right here, guys. Rally base drop off of that with increased volume of the ADMA. Very, very weak. Tough name to trade, but weak candle. And yeah, MAR pretty weak here too. Hotonum is pretty weak. This one's kind of running into some support area right here. Oh, we got a lot of Fibonacci's on this name. Oh, that's because we've done like some pretty cool extensions. This one gave a nice harmonic move, pulled back off the harmonic move, and just continued to work its way up. So cool stuff there on MAR. Great. Found some nice strong names, found some weak names there, Shirley, too. I really appreciate it. Good stuff. Adriana, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, you've got Snap on the radar. Let's take a look. Snap still just kind of accumulation period right now. So again, this is wait for the breakout candle on this one. You can try to get in there, but you never know what's gonna happen, right? So wait till the big money can't hide anymore. And like my friend says, elephants can't fit through doorways, and you'll know when they start plowing into it, right? So we'll see how that goes. Look for a nice big strong volume green candle and see if Snap's ready to go. Or maybe there'll be a buyout or something like that somewhere. But Plug with a strong move here today too. So again, these plug-in names have been really strong as well. So upper shadow off of that one. So good. So good stuff. Armando, good to see you. Happy Thursday. Thankful Thursday. LRCX. Let's take a look. LRCX inside day. So just kind of see how it goes right here. It looks like it is working on a flag type pattern right here. Which could be, the handle of a cup. So see how that goes there on LRCX. Nice find there. And then the Dow, I know you love this name. Yeah, kind of starting to poke its head above some of those recent upper shadows. So let's see if that's ready to get going in Autodesk. Inside day over the ADMA on this one. So let's see if it can pop above there. But I like how it's holding on to the ADMA on that one. Good find there. And Brian, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, let's take a look at Open. So Open had a big gap up, right? All right, so big gap up. So what is the one thing that we look for on big gaps up, right? So what do we look for? Okay, so right, we want to see if it clears any major levels, right? It's cool that it gapped up, right, for trading lottos or any of that fun stuff, right? It's cool that it gapped up, but if you want it to gap and go, what does it got to do? One, it's got to clear the highs, right? Which it did for a little bit, but did it have a strong candle over the highs? No, right? It just kind of pushed above it real quickly, tested above it. It's what we call a look over, and just like looked over, it's like, nope, see it, right? And then it's got to clear some major levels, right? So it had to at least clear that 2478 level there, right? And then ultimately you want it to clear all-time highs. Right, so that's the idea right there, and to get the true gap and go, and we just didn't get that here today. So again, this would have been a good level to clear that 2550-ish area. I just couldn't do it. So when it can't do it, chances are we fade. So because why? Because traders know that, right? That's what they're trying to do, right? So it's okay, you can't get long, right? They're not getting long, just get short on it, right? And just fade it. So anyway, so Open, pretty nice move right there. Again, probably easier with shares and options today, but a nice fade nonetheless. So cool stuff there. And yeah, good stuff. Messy, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at Apple. Let's take a look here. Yes, Apple. Again, no real harmonic going on right here. It did have that bigger harmonic that we've been tracking here on the daily chart. And really at this point, right, so we're just trying to see where it is. Paul was looking at this one here today. Kind of finished this harmonic move here. So again, at this point now, it could be kind of like this 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, wave 4, and we'll see if it's ready for a wave 5 up. That's kind of like the next thing that we're tracking on this. So we'll see how that goes there. And Brian, you got STEM on the radar. Let's take a look. So STEM, again, nice push there, but big upper shadow. Be careful with that one. So again, it's showing some selling pressure right in this area, right? Where did it drop last time? Here. So there's still sellers there. Right, so just a little bit of caution off of that. And then BA, messy. Let's take a look. So you got BA. Inside day, again, big thing is trying to get over that big geometrical line, the top of the channel right there. And Uber. Let's take a look. Uber is still holding some support levels right here and kind of bouncing off that right now. So let's see how that holds. And what else? Good. And JMOS, good evening. Good to see you. Let's take a look at TTD. Yeah, inside day here, kind of poking up a little bit here after hours. Again, this is the big one right here, right? We had an alert on this one. If it could get above it, it couldn't do it. It's chopping, so maybe we're kind of working on a pennant. Right, so again, I'd say if it gets, it's already over today's high, so that's good. Let's just see where we open tomorrow, and if it gets any strength, maybe get an upgrade or something like that. So see where we go from there. And then Sticky, what's going on? Gonna see. Let's take a look at Facebook. Yeah, Metaverse. So Meta with a inside day today, upper shadow off of the ADMA. choppy, sloppy with the rest of the market. But this did give us a nice move down the last couple days, right? It gave us some good short opportunities recently. And Mosby, what's going on? You got MQ back on the radar. Woo! Nasty! This is exactly what we're talking about, guys. So what happened? Right? So we had earnings, just like open, right? Could we get over the pre-market highs? No. Did we just have a look over? Yes. So what do we do then? We look to fade, right? Because what happened? Where do we get? Nowhere. Right? We couldn't gap above anything. There's still sellers just sitting camped out in here. Oh, you want to come into my territory? I have this big red candle? See ya. Thank you. Right? Flush it back down. So you got to ride those waves, right? So nice move there. Huge engulfing candle on that one here today. Nice stuff there. And then BABA, it's creeping its way up here. Again, the Chinese names were strong today. My favorite name out of the Chinese names is Li. I like this pullback here, guys. I like the nice gap up and close. We closed over some levels right here. We got a little bit of room to get to 85. If it really wants to, 88 for a potential earnings run. So keep an eye on JD going in tomorrow. We also like the Chinese electric vehicle names going in today. XPEV had a pretty strong day. It's not really beautiful on the daily chart, but intraday it was an action name. And Li Auto, decent move, but couldn't get over the ADMA. So JD is my favorite Chinese name going in tomorrow. There's a couple other ones too that folks are asking about, like PDD is okay, but right into the 50-day moving average. Billy. Too much of an upper shadow on that one, and Baidu was looking okay towards the close. Good volume right there. I got a little bit more of a close above this right here would have got me a little bit more interested, right? So JD is my favorite going into tomorrow of all the Chinese names. So looking pretty interesting there. Otas, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. You got Amazon on the radar. So this was a short idea intraday today. We like the breakdown here today, guys. I wouldn't even mess with this name right now. I mean, it gives you day trades, but in terms of breakouts and all that stuff, I'd just give it some time. Maybe it'll form a flag for us here. But intraday, it was nice, right? Gave us a couple nice breakdowns here today. Got into negative gamma territory and then gave us some nice downside movement there, right? So pretty cool stuff there on Amazon. And then you got AMC on the radar. It's okay, still into the ADMA on that one, no volume. Spot. Still under the ADMA. They tried to recover a little bit. Not really much going on there. RK, again, big breakdown there today. Again, basically with RK is like the cheap way to trade Tesla, right? So look at the RK. See that big move up right there? Look at Tesla. Big move up right there too. So again, if you like Tesla, look at trading the RK. It's basically one of the highest rated names that Shirley's got in her ETF there, right? So one to keep an eye on there too. So again, it's like mini Tesla, right? It's like cheap Tesla to trade, right? So pretty cool stuff there. Again, that big drop the other day had a lot to do with Tesla selling off. So good stuff there. Otas, thanks so much. Hope you're doing well too. I really appreciate it. And Tiger, what's going on? We got Loco on the radar. So Loco back under the ADMA on that one. DOCN, and it's just not breaking out. DOCN could be working on a flag up here. MQ we looked at, right? We talked about why that thing dropped down here today. It was also off of an old geometric line too, which is pretty cool. PD, PagerDuty, again, still in kind of a tight range right here. We can kind of clean this up a little bit since the last time we looked at it, right? This is still just kind of this blah stuff, right? So just no movement yet. Again, breaking down below this triangle would be very interesting, right? So that's definitely one to keep an eye on there too. And then Snap, we just talked about this possible accumulation period. So just continue to look at it, see if it gets any breakout candles on that one. XPOF with an outside day today, but an upper shadow off of the prior highs. So still sellers hanging out up there. They haven't gotten squeezed out yet, right? They're still active in that area, right? So it makes sense there. And V, yeah, so V with a nasty reversal today, right? So actually kind of like a doji sandwich down, inside day down today. Increased volume under the ADMA, so looking pretty sketchy there altogether on V. And then Brian, you still got Fubo? Oh yeah, Fubo guys, this dip eventually will probably be buyable. They had better than expected earnings. I think they had good revenue and they upped their guidance, and it's down on that one. So just kind of see how it goes, right? See how it holds these levels. You know, this reminds me a lot of PayPal. People, you know, they're just kind of down and just say, we might chop around here for a while and then it gets going again. But Fubo could be hot. You know, just want to keep an eye on there. And then Santa Cruz, what's going on? Good to see you. Got Hut on the radar. Let's take a look. Inside day on this one. So another minor name. Looks okay. It's kind of perking up a little bit after hours. And then BBBY. Yeah, guys, just so FYI, just so you guys know, we went long this day right here, right? And this was, we talked about it. We profiled this on the ChatterQuant, one of our ChatterQuant videos. And we got chatter right at the end of the day on this one. And I went through all the chatter at the end of the day. I was like, this is actually a really nice chart. And I tweeted it out on Twitter. So everybody had time to look at the chart and evaluate it into the close that day in the public Twitter. And this thing gapped up like 20 points or 10 points or more. But that's huge, right? So it was made for a phenomenal overnight. And then of course they sold it right at the open, but it's building up here slowly. It's it's definitely hanging in there so far. Let me see what it's holding here. Let me take a look at a couple other levels. And I was like, yeah, it's hanging in there. I would say today's close kind of okay, but a nice strong close over that 24 area might get ready to get going again. Just a lot of upper shadows, right? So let's see if we can get over that 24 area to see if it's ready to get going on that one. So good stuff. Really appreciate it. Awesome. So great chart requests tonight, guys. It's been a fun week this week talking about trades. We may do something like this next week. But either way, guys, it's been fun. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys Sunday. Actually going to have ChatterQuant back on here. They're going to profile all the upgrades that they've done to their system since we last talked. So I'm really excited about going through that with you guys. And again, really, really great tool. I think they're going to be doing like a... I think they got a special running right now, so definitely check that out too. And but apply the coupon here in the for your links here in the description too. So looking forward to that. So we'll see you guys Sunday. But before that, we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning right here on YouTube for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And till then, guys, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And we'll talk to you.